It is definitely a challenging thing to get a private video going. Driving me a little bit crazy, to be honest, because I'm switched over to OBS. But I think I've got it. I think I've got it knocked. At least I hope so. I hope I'm doing this all by my little lonesome and nobody else can see it. Oh my goodness, what's been going on? Well, this is, ladies and gentlemen, the 1809 Kriegsspiel. But we are well on our way into it, and that is awesome. I'm going to go just take a look at my stream real quick. I hope you'll forgive me. It is private. That's what I wanted. Let's rock and roll. So what's been happening? Well, it's been a very busy day. In fact, this could be one of the biggest days of all in terms of the events. But we're not quite there yet. Let's start over here. Over here in Freising, well, it'll be remembered that Munich has been pretty well abandoned by everybody. Both sides have poked down there and said, hey, there's nobody there. What should we do? Dachau just has this routed brigade of Clapards and also this entire routed division of Brady's. So those fellas are out. Over here, we have both Kienmeyer and Liechtenstein. They had a cunning plan. They were going to pincer move from here, this route, and from here, this route. And actually from this route, forgive me, and catch what they thought was a single French corps here at Freising. And remember, there was the dramatic fight as Liechtenstein's excellent troops fought back against Massena's troops and almost won. But just in time, one of the last divisions of Morand's men came forward and stopped it. Remember that? Well, now Lannes has arrived. And instead of being able to pincer move an inferior force, they have both retreated. Liechtenstein down this path, and Kienmeyer down this path from Gross-Nobach. One of the more interesting pieces is that the French commander, Lannes, had sent this half of Colbert's division, this brigade, down here to go just take a quick peek at Munich and find out what the what was. He then said, all right, we found out there's nothing there. Why don't you get yourself back here and we'll figure out what to do. The problem was, as he came up from Munich this way and then turned this way, he encountered this column of Austrian troops right here marching from Gross-Nobach. And so he's just had to message around this way saying, what's going on? What should I do? These gentlemen are trying to figure out their next step since they have driven Liechtenstein over the bridge at Freising. We'll see what the next step there is. This is Napoleon Bonaparte and Marshal Davout. They have shattered General Rosenberg's corps here, that group. They are marching to Wilsberg and, they're lost. They're not going to be much good to anybody for a while. They have just taken one example, Samariva here. You're talking about of a division of 5,000 men. He's down to 1,500 with no morale and 22 fatigue. They have also sustained, if you take a look at the actual men, they have sustained nearly 3,000 casualties. It's a very grim business for that corps. Why? Because they were shattered up here at the Battle of Landshut, and they were then pursued by Montbrun. Now, the problem is, these fellows want to get aggressive. They've just won a huge victory and they're excited and they want to go. This corps is shot. This corps is in a bad, bad way. Take a look at Morand just for a second. 7,500 base men. They've got a 55 fatigue and a morale of 6. That's not good. It's not good, even for the mighty 3rd Corps. We'll see what they do. Here, these two fellows just keep staring at each other because that's pretty much what they do. We'll see if they move. We actually did see some action from Lefebvre, but not yet. Nothing yet. Some messages making their way. Up here, the Archduke Charles has arrived at Straubing and found it in Austrian hands. So his loke over the Danube down to Deggendorf and out here, or over here to Passau, is clear. One of the real lost opportunities again of the French was to cut this, which they easily could have done had Davout chosen to go this way instead of cross at Landau and go this way. But that's literally water under the dam. So he's now here and trying to figure out what his next steps are. One of the more amusing letters I've received in this particular Kriegsspiel has been from Bellegarde, who has been marching and counter-marching this way, his entire corps, getting them to Straubing. Well, he's found it in Austrian hands. That's good news, but he's telling these guys, oh, God almighty, just rest. I felt like them. It also reminded me a lot of John Gill's stories from his essential Thunder on the Danube series about what this really was like for these fellows. This over here is our guy Hohenzollern, who's finally arrived. Hi, Vance. He's made his way here very slowly. He's about 8 kilometers from Ratisbon, where he stands. He doesn't know that Ratisbon has fallen. Nobody told him. He doesn't know the Austrians control it, so he's getting ready to attack. So he's going to have to figure out what he's supposed to do. So let's talk about a few funny situations, if funny they be. The first is this right here. This is a pretty important report at 7 o'clock this morning from Liechtenstein to Charles. It was captured by these guys at Oberleichling, and it's being sent now to the attention of Marshal Davout. That won't be good. Down here, though, as I mentioned, this is Napoleon and Davout. They're looking desperately to find Massena and Laon. In fact, Laon just had a message from Laon just got to Napoleon and Davout at 12:30 in the morning on the 22nd. This turn that was sent at midnight last night. It took 24 hours to get there because of the incredible circuitous path it had to take all the way over here, all the way down here, all the way over the Isar, and all the way back. Now they're this close to each other. Moreover, both Massena and Laon are wondering where Napoleon Napoleon is. He's right there. Nobody tell him. Remember, line of sight, the farthest you could see is 5 kilometers. Can't see him. And it's nighttime. Kriegsspiel is so great. So there's a lot of stuff that happened. We're going to see some pretty exciting things, I think, on the 22nd of April. Thank you for viewing this long. And please stick around for the next one, because I'm sure it won't be any less fun.